What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Shimer Fantasy Battle Report. I got another battle report for you today. It is U.S. Masters round number 4. Guys, U.S. Masters day 1, round 1, 2, and 3. I got my ass kicked. I got 5 points, 6 points, and 7 points, which is very bad, very pathetic. And I'm thinking, like, you know what? I have a chance. I have an opportunity to try to get up, maybe back up to, like, the middle of the pack, maybe the top half of the pack. But I need to really perform well in my last 2 games. So the night before, I believe we were talking, and I was under the assumption that I was either fighting Phil Carl, and I told Mark, who was running the tournament, I go, Mark, Phil Carl's my boy. I fight him all the goddamn time on Universal Battle. I really don't want to fight Phil Carl. So he's like, okay, you're going to fight Joey Jarbo. And I was like, alright, Joey Jarbo, that's a good one. I'll fight Joey Jarbo, right? So the next morning I'm coming in, and all of a sudden they're like, you know what, you might be fighting, what's his face, Ryan Stottle. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine, I'll be fighting Ryan Stottle. All of a sudden, when I get to the table selection, I'm fighting Mr. Euron Swaja. And I'm like, god damn it, I don't want to fight Euron as much as I don't want to fight Phil Carl. God damn it. But here we are. Here's Mr. Euron Swaja, and let's go over this game against this rat bastard. This is the guy I fought round 1 of Hogfest. This is the guy I won in the tournament in Hogfest the year before. And also, there's a quick cameo by 2 YouTubers behind Mr. Swaja. On the left, that is the Sustainable Center, and on the right, sitting down in the bald head, that is Mr. Skaven in NAZ. Alright guys, let's go over what he has. Let's go over, this is the deployment. We're going, obviously, in the diagonal here. And Euron is bringing a rat army. I believe that is my Monster Energy drink on the other side of his side of the table, though. And this is my side of the table. Now, I'm gonna try to see. I don't think I have pictures of what he brought specifically, but we will go. I'll come back to this picture over here on this side. As you can see, he has a unit on the left that's just like those foot pads, like the really fast ninja-like rats. He's just going to use them to run across the table to get to the objective. We are playing King of the Hill. Now, the piece of terrain that he picked is that rocky ruins that is by his Doom Wheel and the Thunderhawks on the right. Obviously, he has 2 Doom Wheels. He has a catapult on the hill. He has a couple units of Jezzails. They are also on the hill. He has a big block of, I think these are just like Giant Rats, and Brotherhood, or Giant Rats, and Rat-at-Arms. He has a Thunderhawk unit, then he has his big demon. As for my side, going back to this picture, as you can see, I put the A-Rock on the left flank, I put the Space Rock in the back. I kind of just bunkered back 20 whatever inches away from his Doom Wheel so I could try to pick wounds at his Doom Wheels before I get into combat. I think the terrain I picked was the water, maybe the water, or was the forest on the right? I think it was the forest on the right is what it was. So that's why I put a big force of my savages and my black orcs over on the right side. Just trying to keep everything far enough away so I don't get shot turn 1 as much as possible, as in trying to avoid getting shot, and kept the spider protecting the flank. Anyways, let's go. It's going to start off his turn. Turn 1! Vermin Swarms, turn 1. He's going to go ahead and Vanguard up, move up towards me. And as you can see, he's just kind of he's coming at me. He's coming at me, bro. I want to say that those rats are on the... I want to say that was the hill piece I picked, or whatever. The King of the Hill was that forest on the right. But he moved his rats really up close. Maybe that's not a scoring unit. Maybe that's just giant rats. Anyways, that's how the table looks. Let's go over magic. Oh, here's the spells we have, by the way. I think we actually got to this part of the phase, and we were like, shit, we didn't pick spells. Neither one of us. That's why you see his sheets in the middle, and that's why you see my cards in the middle. And this is Team Mexico, for the record. Me and Euron are Team Mexico here, and the only ones representing in the U.S. Masters. But I think it's hilarious that we're just like, oh yeah, we forgot the spells. Oh yeah, okay. So I got Pyroclastic, Full Fireball, Flaming Swords, Enveloping Embers, and Scorching Salvo, as well as Awaken the Beast. My opponent, he has pretty much everything that you would expect from Divination, Unerring Strike, Fate's Judgment, etc. Magic, he got 5 in a Flux. Goes ahead and drops a Thaumaturgy Comet down right here, right in the freaking smack dab right in front of my K-Pack and my Goblins. I'm probably going to take that comment to the face. And it's going to go and start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 1. Orcs and Goblins turn 1. I'm going to charge these fuckers. Get out of the fucking forest, man. It's my forest. And, of course, he's going to flee, which is fine. He didn't even flee far, but what I kind of wanted was what happened, which is he's in his own way. I just kind of move my savages up. I leave my goblins kind of where they're at. They're going to get hit by a comet, oh well, but I'm going to shoot as many bodies as I can before I go down. I'm worried about my general, so my general backs up. I'm worried about my space rock backs up. Magic, I'm going to go ahead and get the flaming swords off. On a bubble, flaming swords, oh, it was dispelled. I think I failed it outright. Go ahead and do a fireball. Does 2 wounds onto the doom wheel. Two wounds on the doom wheel from the Chigo. K-Pack's gonna go ahead and start shooting into these ratted clan rats or foot pads. Kill off 3 of them, and that's it. It's gonna start off his turn. Turn 2. Turn 2. Vermin swarms. So he starts to. Let's see what he does here. It looks like the K-Pack caused the panic on the foot pads because the foot pads ran up towards the Thunderhulks, right? So that happened. He moves his general back and his doom wheel back. He realized I'm just going to try to magic missile him, so he's like, oh, fuck that shit, and he just kind of backs up. He's going to start using his catapults to range me, and which is a smart play for my opponent, actually. Magic, he got a 3 on the flux, goes ahead and he does smite the unbeliever on my goblins. Comet does not come down, and he's going to shoot his catapult and does 4 wounds here. Basically, that's all that really happens. I think his Jazales really kind of flub their shots because everything that's worth shooting is way out of range. Yeah, that's how the table looks. It's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. I just kind of moved the Black Orcs up. I moved the Savages up. I'm trying not to put the Savages in the wood so I don't get charged by 2 units of Thunderhulks. But basically, I'm just kind of moving up away from the comet. Did the comet come down? That's the question, actually. I don't know. I thought that was a catapult that hit. But the dice is missing, so I think the comet did come down on that turn. Anyways, yeah, that's how it looks. Magic, I got a 1 on the flux. Go ahead and I do a fireball onto his frickin' Thunderhulks because they're in range. Does a wound. Go ahead and I do flaming swords on my bow goblins, but basically nothing happens. Gonna start off his turn. Turn 3. Turn 3. Vermin swarm. Vermin swarm. Again, we're just kind of sitting on the wrong side of the table. He's gonna charge over here into my goblins. I don't think it was a flank. No, it's a front. He gets in, of course. Which, whatever. I don't really care about that fight. But he does run in the water, and the water kills like 3 of them. Magic, he gets a 7 on the flux, goes ahead and he does smite the unbeliever on me. He goes ahead and shoots this fucking catapult right into my Iron Orcs, kills off a couple of my Iron Orcs. These guys are going to start shooting into the K-Pack, does 3 wounds. This motherfucker is going to start shooting into my Savages, kills off 2 Savages. These guys are going to start shooting into my Savages, kill off a couple more Savages. These bastards over here with the Jazales are going to start shooting into my Savages, kill off a couple more Savages. These bastards are going to start shooting into my Savages, kill off a couple more of my Savages. Fucking a gun line. Over here, close combat. What the hell? He only kills 3 of my goblins, but my goblins end up killing 5 back with the shady gets. He was like, what the fuck just happened? I was like, those are some shady gets. I win combat. He is not steadfast. He just holds. And basically that's how it looks. I was hoping to break him. This could have been a really big play for me if he broke and ran. But he didn't, and he just kind of stuck there. It's going to start off my turn. Turn 3, Orcs and Goblins. And I'm going to call out the Wog in 3, 2, Wog! I'm going to call out the Wog. I'm going to charge here like an idiot. I just do this. But really, I did it for this K-Pack charge. A charge here, he's going to flee, which that's great. But I'm going to redirect into that Doom Wheel, which is probably like an 11. Like a fucking 11. And if I could get it, I'm going to ram the shit out of his Doom Wheel, then his General, and basically it'll win me the game, right? But what do? I don't do it. I fail that charge. Savages are moving up, though, to threaten, and as you can see, my Space Rock, or my A-Rock actually went down to the flank down there, more or less to get into threat range. I figure at this point, he's going to shoot me with the Doom Wheel. He can't kill the A-Rock fully health, but the other Doom Wheel I think is just a little bit out of range to reach my A-Rock. We'll see in a minute. Magic got a 7 on the flux. Go ahead and I do a Scorching Salvo. He dispels it. I go ahead and I do a Fireball, start doing more wounds. I do another 1 or 2 onto the Doom Wheel here. Close combat here. My Black Orcs barely killed the damn giant rats. It was just a horrible flub roll. But I do win combat. He's going to run and flee. And he flees through my savages, which is fine. That's kind of where I was hoping he did right there. As you can see, my dogs, I think that's the main reason why I called out the log was so the dogs could chaff. And the dogs are chaffing currently in the Thunderhawks. Now, part of my plan here is actually just to chaff his Thunderhawks as long as it takes, so I can just run into the objective, and that's really what it's coming down to, is I need to get to the objective. Over here, close combat, he ends up killing off a couple goblins. I end up killing a couple more here. It's basically a giant pillow fight, but it's going to start off turn 4. Turn 4, he basically does this where he chaffs my savages with his giant rats, right? And the other thing that's going on here in game 4 is just over, this is my view from my seat, is that's also Ben Kern and Frank Shepta, but they're playing the Han Solo movie. So I'm watching the Han Solo movie. I'm not even paying attention to my game, which Jeff Parkhurst kept on saying, hey, do you want me to turn it off? Hey, do you want me to turn it off? And I'm like, nah, man. And he goes, if you lose, don't blame it on the fucking movie. And in all fairness, this is the one game I'm not doing so bad on. Maybe I should need to watch Han Solo more often. Anyways, no, that's bad. That's a bad idea. Anyways, all right. So as you can see, this is basically where he continues to move. That's basically it. He's going to go ahead and chaff my spider down there. He's just going to try to shoot me with the Doom Wheels. Magic ends up getting a 6 on the Flux, goes in and does Smite the Unbeliever on the spider. This motherfucker shoots the spider, does 2 wounds. These motherfuckers shoot the spider, do like 3 more wounds. These motherfuckers shoot the spider, left her with a wound. She is still alive, though. Over here, these guys are going to shoot my dogs. Oh, no, they shoot my savages. End up killing 2 more savages. These guys are going to start shooting into my... I don't know what they shot. I think they shot that savage. But close combat between the rats and the goblins. The goblins ended up killing them off. It's going to start off my turn. Orcs and goblins turn 4. Orcs and goblins turn 4. I'm going to charge in over here. Big charge. Savages into the Thunderhawks. And I fail that charge. Go into Magic. I end up getting a Scorching Salvo, and I do a huge one. I hit the freaking the Doom Wheel here, and I believe I blew up the Doom Wheel. I hit the General, does 2 wounds out to the General. Hit the freaking Thunderhawks here. I got 6s on everything. What the fuck? That's what I think this is. I got 6 hits on the freaking Doom Wheel, 6 hits on the General, plus the D3 on the General, and then 6 hits onto the freaking... Well, it's D3 plus 1, so 4 hits on all. Alright. And I don't know how many wounds I did. Go ahead and I do a Flaming Swords onto these guys. These guys are going to start shooting into the other to the Doom Wheel. I end up killing off the Doom Wheel. That's fucking awesome. Over here, my spider did charge in and ends up killing off a couple guys. Causes them to run, which they didn't run too far. It's going to start off his turn 5. You're on turn 5. These guys did not rally. They're going to run off the table. And basically, this is how it goes. Now, I did this on purpose, right? I did this entirely on purpose. What I did was I chaffed his Thunderhawks just enough so that if he charges in my chaff and overruns, I could obviously charge him and kill him, and then overrun into maybe the objective. If not, I could just walk in with the savages, right? I just need to touch the tip of the terrain. That is my understanding. That is how I am viewing this. His guys down south did rally. I don't think he charges though, and this comes up later. This will come up later. Magic 2 on the Flux goes ahead. He does Smite the Unbeliever onto my chariots. Goes ahead and shoots my chariots. Kills off one of them. These guys are gonna start shooting into my chariots. Kill off another one. And the Jazales are gonna start shooting into the K-Pack. Does another wound. These guys over here are gonna start shooting. I'm sorry. The Catapult shoots into my savages. Kills off 3 of them. It's gonna start off my turn 5. Now we're running low on time. I believe we started late. I want to say we started late. I don't remember how this worked. But I'm going to go ahead and charge my K-Pack in anyways, because it's dead in the next shot anyway. So if it gets in, great. If it doesn't, oh well. It fails the charge, just kind of stumbles in the center. So I go ahead and I move up like so. And again, I'm doing this where my Black Orcs can reach the objective no matter what. And as you can see, he is not in my objective. I believe my objective is the water terrain or the forest where my spider is. I don't really remember. But I need to get to that freaking ruins, and if he can't panic either unit. Savages and the Black Orcs are both immune to psychology, right? 2 is I'm using my chaff, which he should have shot, and blocking his unit, so if he charges, he has to turn to get the rear charge. The one in the front, or the one closer to the demon, could just go straight and block my savages, which is fine, but he can't block my black orcs. That's basically what I'm trying to get to, is he can't block my black orcs. I could touch his freaking terrain, no problem, right? Magic, I end up doing a fireball onto his general, does a wound. I think I got a couple wounds on him. I can't tell because he has these little markers that he just puts on him. But, anyways, Scorching Salvo goes off and it ends up doing a couple more wounds. Doesn't really cause anything major. It's going to start off his turn 6. Turn 6, he shoots with the damn catapult. He realizes he's not going to get the objective, but he's going to just do as much as he can. So he hits the savages, ends up killing off like 5 of my savages. These guys are going to start shooting into my, who was that? The K-Pack? Maybe it was the K-Pack. I don't know who he shot up there. Let me go back a picture or two. There's nobody up there. Yeah, that was the K-Pack, I think. They're just dead. Alright, it's going to start off my turn 6. Now, here's where it gets really tricky, okay? He tries to chaff me. He tries to walk around my spider, or my chaff, and chaff my black orcs where I have to charge. Now, I am under the understanding, and if I hit him, I don't touch the terrain, right? And we're going to show a better picture. If I reform, and again, for the record, this is not a post-combat reform. This is just a reform. On turn 6, I could just walk into the objective. Alright? I believe if I do charge him, I could still technically touch the objective. It's just like how many bodies die could affect that, right? Now, as I'm talking about this specifically, my plan, which is instead of charging, just turning and walking into the objective, he says you can't do that. That it's not that you have to have the whole unit or a good majority of the unit inside the objective. And I was like, I've never heard this. I have honestly never ever heard this. And so we call the ref. We call the TO. The TO comes by and says, yes, you have to have the majority of your unit inside the objective, which doesn't make too much sense because some units are bigger than the terrain by a lot. So that could be an issue. But I'm like, okay, so we try to play it off, and I'm like, well, I would charge then if I can't get the objective. So I charge my savages into his guy here. I charge my black orcs in, and during this time, I'm still arguing, and I'm still like, I don't really agree with this. I don't think this is exactly what would happen. And I'm telling him right now, I told Euron, now granted, Euron's my teammate from Team Mexico, so he understands my point of view on this, is I am not going to charge them if I don't have to charge them. I would rather just walk onto the objective and take a small win. Right? And I told him that over and over and over again. So all of a sudden, I'm going through the rules, and the rules are like, you just have to be in the objective. It doesn't say you have to have majority in the objective. It doesn't say if it has to be one toe inside or the whole damn army inside, okay? So when I'm reading that, I'm like, dude, that's what it says. And he's like, yeah, but the ref said one thing. And I'm like, you know what though? Really though, the ref didn't really know. So we go back to the ref. We played the game out both ways. We played it out to see if I would have died, and we played it out to see if I would have just walked in. Alright, and I told him again, I'd rather just walk in. Okay? Magic ended up doing a pyroclastic flow onto this Doom Wheel. I don't think I killed the Doom Wheel. I go ahead and I do Awaken the Beast on the Savages to try to kill his damn general. They got destroyed by the general. Okay. We go back and we look at it. And we talk to the ref, and the ref's like, okay, well, it doesn't matter. Like, would it change the points? I go, yes, it would change the points, because I'm not sacrificing 2 units. I would just walk into the objective and still have my units, because my savages got punked at that point. So we redid the math, we figured it out, and with the objective, I believe I got like a 13-7 win, which was a kind of a shitty win, because it wasn't a clean win because of the whole scenario confusion. And at the same time, I kind of felt bad because it was against Euron. But at the same time, hey, it's the only win I got in U.S. Masters. It was horrible, though. Not entirely happy with the way it ended, because I didn't want it to end like... It wasn't necessarily an argument, but it was just, like, controversial, the ending. You know what I mean? At the same time, let me see how many points I got. I got 14 points. But at the same time, I stuck to my guns. I would not have charged. I was under the assumption I could just reform and walk in. I knew for a fact that he couldn't stop me from getting into the objective, so I was just like, this is how it's going to be. So I got the win. It wasn't a clean win. And the TO was full of shit. Anyways, guys, that's it for this battle report. I really don't have... My MVP would probably just be the Black Orcs for taking the objective. And the Pyromancy was pretty clutch, but besides that, it was a rough game again. It's just getting harder and harder to do anything, really, against these armies. Keeping my Spider far enough away from his Divination and Fate's Judgment really is just basically what's causing my magic to be kind of ineffective at the moment, so that's rough. Besides that, though, I think that overall, even though I won, if I would have brought a different kind of list, I think I would have done a lot better. Guys, that's all I really have, though. If you guys like my video, hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. I'll be back with the finale of US Masters and can't wait to get you my Corner Hammer games. And actually, I ended up getting a game after Corner Hammer against Mr. Luke Nickel. And that game I'll be posting as soon as I get the Corner Hammer games up. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoy my content, you could always show further support by going onto my Patreon and leaving any sizable donation would be greatly appreciated. It helps me get to ETC as well as helps me keep funding for my new camera that I'm going to eventually get. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed making it, and I'll see you in the next video against Mr. Joe Finlayson. Until next time, take care and peace.